Welcome to the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino for the World Players of Handball and the Outdoor World Championships. My name is Dave Vincent alongside Dave Fink here in Las Vegas, Nevada for what we have a great lineup today, which includes a match that's actually running right now in progress, the men's big ball 3-wall semifinals in the doubles category, Dave, and it's really exciting as we're intentionally going to go in here and have the small ball men's finals kickoff, but it's just too crazy. We had to move our cameras over. The crowds have really gathered for this match here. Sometimes they happen like this. We don't quite understand how they come out like this, Dave.
Well, it's deep in the tiebreaker here. Each team is 5 points from advancing to the finals. I believe the score is 10-10 in the tiebreaker right now.
And we're going to 15, right?
Right, every point counts. That's an amazing shot right there from Shorty Ruiz, who's one of the game's top players. His brother in the backcourt with the Edel handball shirt on.
So I guess what we're trying to say is it's very hard to move 1,000 fans and these players into a side court to put on a regularly scheduled match. So what we're going to do is just catch this exciting semifinal upper bracket doubles match going on right now in the pro category with Ricky Ruiz serving right there and his doubles partner Timbo Gonzalez from New York. And Shorty Ruiz dives in and gets that ball with the left hand and forces a side out, gets a point. That's a big-time play right there from Shorty Ruiz, brother of Ricky.
Brother Ricky accused Shorty of picking up a double bounce there, but it wasn't, Dave.
Well, they're brothers, but they're not friends.
Okay, that's a good way of putting it.
And this is just an incredible way of starting off our broadcast on Watch ESPN and the Watch ESPN app. Those tuning in to watch the small ball men's finals, you're just going to have to wait. Oh, amazing shot there from Shorty. Dive in from Lobo, dive from Ricky, and it skips in.
This is just absolutely outstanding action here, Dave. Highest drama of the event thus far.
I believe the referee said 12-13, going to 15. Wow, nice shot, Ricky, and then Lobo dives in and gets it.
When Ricky hit that shot, Dave, it looked like the point was over. How does Lobo come out of nowhere there? He came flying in. He flew about 5 feet in the air before flat re-killing that shot.
Even though the referee is screaming that score, it's hard to hear it, and I heard 13-13, and I believe this is game and match point here at 14 for Ricky and Timbo Gonzalez. Right down the middle. Oh, and Shorty skips it in, and guess who takes the semifinals? Ricky Ruiz and Timbo Gonzalez, and they are now going to forge their way into the finals once again for 3 straight tournaments on the Big Ball Cup Series. Dave, you watched the full match here courtside as I was preparing for this ESPN broadcast, and what you see between the players?
Well, there's really not much separating either team. In fact, Shorty Ruiz and Lobo Valencia held a match point there in the second game. They were just an inch or two from making it to the finals. Instead, they drop a heartbreaking tiebreaker, and now they're out of the event, and Ricky Ruiz and Timbo Gonzalez keep their undefeated partnership alive. This is now their 3rd straight final. They won their first 2 finals, and you'd have to think they're the favorite going in tomorrow.
Well, warming up on the court right now is the match that is the one that we have set up here first. Nikolai Nahorniak is warming up, and he's going to go up against Emmett Peixoto here. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in 2 or 3 minutes or so for the beginning of this small ball men's finals. ESPN and the Watch ESPN app at the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. For Dave Fink, I'm Dave Vincent. We're going to have the beginning of that one coming up right around the corner. Stick close here at ESPN.
a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
In 1905, Thomas Beverly Pennock settled out west to start a family construction business. Over 100 years and 5 generations later, T.B. Pennock & Sons continues on today. From our world-class concrete at the San Diego airport to our recovery efforts in New York after Hurricane Sandy. We take pride in what we build, and we will never forget who we build for. We are T.B. Pennock & Sons.
Rethink what you know about this Vegas icon. Elevate your expectations at the Stratosphere Hotel, Casino, and Tower. See what's new, up, down, and all around.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't, because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's 1 every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
We are back here in Las Vegas at the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino for the men's small ball finals, featuring Nikolai Nahorniak from Chicago and Emmett Peixoto from Watsonville, California, now living in San Francisco. Both of these guys making their first singles final appearance here in Las Vegas over the 4-year. And you know, they've really been the guys that we've talked about that could have a chance to win this tournament. None of them have, obviously, but losing out in the quarters and the semifinals in years past. And Emmett, of course, I did make the finals last year but didn't win it. But Dave, do you feel like there's kind of like a new change of blood here, or finally a new setting? We're not seeing a Luis Moreno or a Shorty Ruiz.
Well,
in the
it's
finals?
interesting because we have different players winning this event last year, or every year. Last year we had a one-wall player win this event. We've had the best four-wall player of all time win this event. We've had the #1 four-wall player who's never won the Nationals win this event. So every year it seems like we're anointing a new outdoor three-wall ball champion, and this year will be no exception. But perhaps more importantly to these guys, Dave, is the WPH Yellow Jersey Award to every WPH Pro champion at stake here, and neither of these guys have ever won one.
Yeah, this is actually very interesting for those fans at home that just want to watch you know, a new matchup, a new style, and luckily for the fans, they're going to see some amazing handball. We've seen some athletic play from Emmett Peixoto as well as Nikolai Nahorniak, who hurt himself yesterday. Do you have anything you can say about the injury that Nahorniak had?
He's re-injured a knee that he aggravated or initially injured in March before a pro stop. and it's given him a lot of trouble right now. He barely could walk yesterday in that match with Shorty. He said finally he got enough adrenaline going after overcoming match point in that semifinals to be able to play pain-free in that tiebreaker. But just talking with him about 10 minutes before this match, Dave, he said, my knee does not feel good at all. And, Dave, I don't know what to expect here, but just watching him warm up gingerly, Dave, it's not a good sign if you're looking for a good match.
Well, I told him earlier that this match is supposed to go on right at the top of the hour. Now, of course, we had that kind of a lucky incident for him because the big ball semifinals were just closing down. But he said, oh, no, I'm not even close to being warmed up. I said, well, you better go find a wall somewhere and get warmed up because this is what can happen. He said, no, I'm not worried about my arm. I'm worried about my leg.
Well, you know, he hasn't put any pressure whatsoever on that left knee during warm-ups. But, you know, these guys, Dave, have a long rivalry. Emmett travels to Chicago every summer for their big event at LaGrange in July. He and Nikolai play in the finals there every year. Nikolai's beaten him there the last 2 years on his home court. Emmett beating Nikolai at the Nationals last year. They also go back and forth indoors, so it is a premier rivalry, even though Nick hasn't yet established himself in that Elite Eight. But I think a lot of people expect him to do so pretty soon. Emmett, though, Dave, just looks really comfortable out there, really looks in control of his game. He's not taking any chances. He's playing high percentage, just really fundamentally sound handball.
Emmett Peixoto, for those at home that don't know who Emmett is, he's the one wearing the red shirt. Nikolai Nahorniak wearing the blue one. Emmett wearing the red from San Francisco and the Olympic Club there being sponsored by that wonderful athletic facility that has so much history. He was in the finals of the four-wall nationals this year.
Yeah.
He did not do very well at the three-wall nationals, which is something that I really personally felt that he was going to go deep into that tournament, possibly win it, make it to the finals. He didn't do it. I think he's trying to redeem himself out here. Nikolai, also one of the guys that we thought would be a breakthrough artist at that national tournament, and that didn't work out as well for him either. But certainly he's here in the finals, and he wants a little bit of redemption. Does that injury of Nikolai kind of affect how he approaches this final?
Well, I don't see how it doesn't. I mean, it's the type of thing where before you play, you're asking yourself, how can I even get myself to play 1 point? Now, sometimes, Dave, you have injuries, and once you start playing, the pain dissipates a little bit when you develop that, adrenaline. But just looking at Nikolai's knee right now, Dave, and just seeing him walk around the grounds, it just doesn't look good.
But right when that injury happened, now I know that when you get the adrenaline and your endorphins are kicking in, you don't really feel a lot of stuff, but he looked really sore when he initially injured that playing Shorty Ruiz in an earlier round. And then he seemed to get on fire and play really well with that injury. I think he can overcome it because he has already in this tournament.
Well, I think injuring it during the match is one thing. You're able to get through it with some adrenaline, and the swelling hasn't really set in yet. But a day later, Dave, 24 hours or 30 hours later, the knee really starts to swell up, and the pain just intensifies. Well, now, you have to remember, he did make a comeback against Shorty Ruiz, but Shorty was basically suffering from heat stroke and cramps yesterday. He couldn't really move, so Nikolai couldn't move either. But you're talking about a totally different animal here in Emmett, who's completely fresh. He's ready to play for 5 hours, and he's ready to run for 5 hours, and he's ready to run you.
We are at the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, as we look at that amazing spire that sits over the top of Las Vegas Boulevard. In fact, this is from our view as we look from our booth right up. The shadow of this big tower is just beaming over the top of our booth right now, and it's actually just an amazing setting altogether, Dave. Wonderful weather out here after the sun goes down, and it's provided us for a great backdrop. As we're going to get that announcement from the referee as he is going to introduce these players to this Stratosphere crowd. And here we go.
All right, guys. Ready?
Our referee is Vlad Klim.
Here's the game ball. Nick, you're going to be serving first. 3 games to 15. We have Shorty Ruiz on the line over here. And we have Eric Torres on your outside line. I'm going to be your head ref. Good luck, guys.
Our referee, Dave, international superstar in handball, Vlad Klim. This is a guy who spent the last 3 months in 12 different countries playing handball throughout Europe, South America, and the United States. Fortunate to have him leading the charge here.
Okay, Dave. The referee said it, but best 2 out of 3 to 15 tiebreaker,
That's
also
right.
the 15.
You can only score when you're serving.
And here we go. Serving first will be Nikolai Nahorniak from Chicago, Illinois.
Nick told me before the match there's a guy who's been loaning him a knee brace, and he can't find him. So he doesn't have a knee brace. He said, I don't have a car. I can't get anywhere to buy one, which I guess he doesn't know that cabs run 24 hours a day here in Vegas, and we're having a big problem here with crowd control.
Well, everybody wants to watch this match. I told him, you know, you can pull out your Watch ESPN app.
Yeah, if I see that you're getting close to the camera, I will stop the fight. Okay.
That camera is really close, but she also knows how to move it.
Serving first, number
She
4
being-
seed, Nikolai Nahorniak. And returning serve, number 3 seed, E Ft
And
Peixoto.
there's the hands together for Emmett, retrieving
Score
that
is
serve.
0-0.
And here's that first serve.
Such a great serve.
Point.
And even though it's right down the middle, it's almost impossible to return.
1-0. Side out.
And that right corner kill is the kind of shot that will work against most players, but not against a guy as quick as Emmett.
0-1.
I think, Dave, these two guys have the best high game in three-wall handball, but of course, as soon as I'm in the middle of saying that, Nikolai hits one into the fence.
That's where you need to learn how to change what you're going to say.
I could have
they
done
have
it.
the
One
best
serves one.
haircut in the game of handball. I like that shot from Nikolai Nahorniak. Pushes Emmett out the wall. Nick goes down that left wall. And no way Emmett could get a hand on that. That was all set up from that amazing up top.
But he had to follow it with just as good a shot. Nikolai has the best left-to-left shot
One serves
in
one.
handball.
Outside.
That's sort of missing the sideline by about 2 inches.
One serves one. Side out.
You're seeing a lot of this really good play out these side doors.
Well, you know, Emmett is a slow starter, and we saw this yesterday against Sean and also in his first
One
round
serves one.
against Cesar Sala.
Point.
And another quick point there for Nikolai Nahorniak.
That's a ball I believe Emmett picks up later in this
Two
match as
serves
he gets
one.
his wheels going a bit. That's an amazing shot there from Emmett. You know, Dave, both these guys are right-handed, but I think both their lefts are stronger, particularly overhand.
Three serves one.
Dave, Nikolai is one of the bigger players out here. He's over 6 foot. You think that helps in the outdoor game?
I think it does out here because you need that, generate some high power to get those upper wraparounds.
Yeah.
And as a tall guy myself and playing out here the last couple years, I realize that you don't, you know, it works to my favor when they try to hit the ball over your head or hit it deep. You can run back a little bit better and also hit high as your return instead of just putting a hand on a ball. See right there, that's the shot.
Well, it's a very high bounce off the concrete, and with the conditions as hot as it is out here. And Emmett will just wear you out with that overhand drive to the left. We have an appeal here from Nikolai. This is not like tennis, Dave, where you only get a certain amount of appeals. You can actually appeal unlimited.
The ball was out. First shot to the left was out. The lineman saw it out.
Dave, I like to have the lineman call it right away. I think it's their call, and I think that's the way it should be done.
It went out.
I believe.
And that's the first controversial call, but our referee did not go over there and confer again with the line judge. He was getting a player off the court there. No, I agree. The line judge should have called it immediately. And I thought that was the rule, in fact.
It's an amazing shot. But you know, Dave, in indoor handball, you wait until after the point of the appeal, but this is a little bit different because as a referee, you can't see the lines as well from the middle of the court as somebody sitting on the line.
Boy, Nikolai is just really pushing Emmett all over the court. Watch what Nick does here. Goes down low, gets the point, hits that ball absolutely perfect in the right spot.
You know, Dave, we watched Nikolai and Emmett play for the first time outdoors in 2010, and we thought to ourselves, this guy's probably the best through-wall player in the world. And that was when he was still a teenager. I look at him now, and I don't think anything's changed. He's just as good, if not better, and I don't know why he hasn't won a number of national titles.
Emmett has control of this rally right now.
That's beautiful playing there.
Side out.
And that is Nikolai's weakness. If he has one, he does not play well on the run. And if Emmett's able to push him side to side,
one serves 5.
Nikolai doesn't have nearly the control moving side to side.
Boy, Nick had a lot of spin on that ball off that front wall. That was a screen from Nikolai Nahorniak.
I think you either give Emmett that shot or call an avoidable there. I mean, Nikolai completely took that shot away from him.
One serves 5.
I'm surprised. Emmett's had now 2 calls go against him.
I'm surprised Emmett doesn't use the walls more when he has Nick on the run, like Nick does to him right there. The same.
Nick is incredible at using the walls. Wow.
But see, that's what Nick gets right there. He gets what he deserves because he got that set up off that 2-wall out the door shot. But Emmett was in the same position 4 shots earlier. Could have used the sidewall, instead drove it deep, and Emmett.
You know, Nikolai has a lot more experience on these courts. Emmett's only played here 2 years. Nikolai has been here now on his 5th year here, and these courts are foreign to most small ball players.
Side out.
There's another point now for Emmett.
That was a side out.
Excuse me.
Okay. I didn't want you to get too ahead of yourself there.
Well, they both took their shirts off, and I have blurry vision right now.
Point.
And you see Emmett gets away with a shot that hits the middle of the front wall about 1.5 feet high, and Nikolai just didn't move forward well for that shot at all. Oh, great shot there from Emmett.
Point.
Boy, now Emmett's really rolling here.
Well, that's what Emmett can do. He can set up for a high drive and then go low from an overhand swing.
3 serves 5. Side out. First time out, Nikolai.
And Dave, what does this mean if you're a Nikolai Nahorniak fan? He's calling a timeout at 5-3 in the first game. I mean, the action hasn't been all that physical. Of course, from the air-conditioned booth, nothing is. But is this early? Is this a warning sign that maybe Nikolai is feeling a little bit fatigued early?
No, you know, earlier we saw some of these players take 2 timeouts by the time the 8th point was scored because it is so hot out here. And even though the sun has gone down, we are in the shade. It is just really brutal out there nonetheless because of how dry this heat is. And I think Nikolai's doing the smart thing. He saw that Emmett was going on a nice little run. Maybe he can ice him just a little bit, take away some of that momentum. You know, Emmett's playing the game that he wanted to play early. He was a slow starter traditionally anyway in 4-wall, and now he's out here slow starting at the beginning, but I think now he's kind of leveled it off, and I think Nikolai's trying to cool that off.
So a lot of leveling and cooling is what you're saying.
That's what I think.
Okay.
I think there's some leveling and cooling. Nikolai has the serve.
And icing.
I like calling a timeout when you're serving, but not when you're on a nice run when you're serving. Nick is not on a nice run. And there,
Emmett is not happy with that air there. That's a pretty easy return for him by his standards, an overhand left return. He wasn't even really off the court. Definitely mark that one down as an unforced error.
6 plays 3.
See how Nick goes right to that wall in his first strike? Oh, nice. That one probably hurt Nick's knee more than any other shot.
It seems as though Nick's arms are abnormally long. He doesn't even have to bend, and there he is down at the ground with his hand parallel to the floor. That's a great serve.
He has an upper body very similar to John
First
Bike.
time out, Emmett.
Really long arms out there, and it's like.
So that's just not my imagination. He does have long arms?
No, he has long arms. I think it actually helps him out.
Okay.
Especially on those sidewall shots. Now, we're talking about using that sidewall as an offensive weapon. And Dave, Nikolai, he serves deep. He gets the return and immediately goes right into a sidewall to push Emmett out the door. Now, he knows that Emmett is only going to have 1 or 2 little options, and most of them are going to hit him right back at himself. And so he gets himself in position for the next shot.
Well, you know, Nikolai is so adept at using the ceiling in traditional 4-wall, which means there would be a ceiling on top of this wall. You hit that ceiling as hard as you can and push your opponent out of the back of the court. But here, since there's no ceiling, he's made the adjustment, and he uses that 2-wall pinch shot. And he seems to have a go-to shot with that, and it's a combination. He runs you off the court, then he hits a pass or kill on the very next shot. We've seen that 4 times already here in this first game. Emmett has not had any sustained offense here.
Score is 8 plays 3.
That's an amazing serve and a great return.
But it's out. That ball was out.
Outside.
Oof.
Point.
I thought it might have just caught the edge of the line, but I'm glad I'm not the line judge on that one.
I saw 4 inches out.
Okay. Usually if it's that close, it usually is out.
9 plays 3.
That serve is not as effective, but look at this shot.
Oh, and Emmett gets it.
Oh, that's just amazing, Dave. Nikolai played that carom absolutely the only way he could have, put himself in the perfect position for that ball to jump right into his left hand, and then he pushed it in the perfect spot.
That was
10
unreal.
plays 3. Point.
Look at the score on the scoreboard.
No, you know, it's not as though Emmett's playing poorly, Dave. I think Emmett's playing
11
pretty well
plays
when
3.
given the opportunity, but look where he's hitting shots from. He's outside the court.
Outside.
And Nikolai will not appeal that. Dave, I think I would have appealed that at least just to make sure.
3 plays 11.
Great serve from Emmett. And now Emmett's in control.
Well, Emmett's hitting the ball a lot harder here.
Well, he's finally able to step into the ball. And that's a big difference. And oh, amazing. Nikolai will be disappointed there that he didn't end the rally.
Side out.
That was unbelievable right there. Nasty stiletto corner from Nikolai Nahorniak.
Well, he clipped the side wall there. That ball was on its way out.
11 plays 3.
That's why I called it the stiletto corner.
And you see how well Emmett's hitting the ball when he's able to step into it, but he hasn't had many opportunities to do so.
3 plays 11. Screen ball.
I don't like that call. I think as a returner, you want to hit that return when the ball lands in the middle of the court.
Yeah, but Nick turned around immediately and looked at the referee, and the ref called screen before Nick turned. So they must have been on the same page there, and there's another point for Emmett Peixoto.
But as a returner, wouldn't you rather return a ball right down the middle of the court than that ball Emmett just ripped off the side of the court to the left?
Yeah, but I don't know if you think about what's going to happen next.
I do. I would if I was returning.
There's another hop. No hop, though.
Well, the reverse doesn't really work that well out here. That's incredible. Look at how well Emmett plays that. Here's a setup. High percentage pass. Emmett plays the ball from off the court better than anyone I've ever seen out here. It's hard enough just to get those balls back, but Emmett is actually able to take control of the rally, and that'll be an ace.
But it isn't, and now Emmett's found a system, and Nick almost made that front wall, and this is where you call the timeout.
Second timeout.
It's a veteran play there from a guy in his early 20s.
Yeah, now you see that nice run from Emmett, and you can see as soon as Emmett learned that system, the thing that's been giving him a point after another point, and Nick also recognizes it well. He said, I'm going to neutralize this, go down, sit down, get something to eat, drink, or whatever he's doing over here with his knee brace, and just calm Emmett down just a little bit. He's hoping that Emmett has to go sit in the stands while he is resting, because Nick has a private booth back here, an air-conditioned room that he's attending, and Emmett's being distracted by the players.
Well, Dave, I think Emmett knows the system he wants to implement. It's just a matter of, can he get in the server's box, and then when he does get in, can he hit those deep hop serves that are pushing Nikolai off the court? I mean, he knows what he wants to do. It's just a matter of,
15 seconds.
You got to be in the server's box to do it. And then once you're there, you got to hit the shots.
Well, you can see a total different Peixoto here. Let's see if the system works.
Time in.
A deep serve
Nikolai,
is what's been
you have
starting
one
this.
timeout remaining. Emmett, you have 2 left. Score is 6 plays 11.
Nikolai has not returned Emmett's sidearm serve well at all. And there's another setup.
I don't like that return from Emmett.
And that's a point Emmett should have won twice. You know, he got indecisive there and hit that shot with a fist.
11 plays 6. Point.
Emmett's frustrated with himself, but in fairness, that's an amazing serve, Dave. It's a foot from the line. It's over your head.
6.
It seems to me that that deep serve is just the one that's setting up the first strike.
It's another great shot. Look at Emmett off 1 foot. Look at that athleticism.
Oh, and Nick goes down to the right corner and gets a point.
Incredible handball. You know, Nick hits the power corner kill, which you don't see a lot, Dave. You see a lot of guys hit the kill straight in or just kind of died in the corner. He hits a power corner kill with a huge reverse on it in a full swing.
You know, Emmett paused as he got back to the middle of the court there, and if he would have just continued on, he might have had a chance to get his
no, that kill
hand
shot
on.
was gone.
No, I actually think Emmett could have got that.
Emmett is wiping the floor in 3-wall ball. This is a first, Dave.
We can't do anything about that side of the court.
The tournament organizer here, Dave, told me at the U.S. Open, if you run into the back fence, you don't get to play the point over. It's part of the court.
Right.
So that fence is part of the court. There are no bad bounces, Dave, so this is not an argument here.
No. This is all part of the thing that some of these players will do.
I don't think Vlad understands the rules here, Dave.
You didn't think it was over?
I think what Emmett is trying to say is that he felt that he was interfered with the player, but that just doesn't matter outdoor.
No.
Score is 13 plays 6.
But it did buy him about 70 seconds. Look at that great shot. Oh, that's amazing.
Wow. That ball just stays in. How did that happen?
That's a great point from Emmett Peixoto right there, Dave. He wins that point after running 11 feet off the court to the left.
6 plays 13.
And that's a serve that has not been effective for Emmett, that power serve down the
Side
right.
out.
He's just leaving it right in the middle of the court. It's sitting there on a tee for Nikolai, particularly when he hits it with that soft reverse. The ball checks up on the floor, and it's a very easy return for Nikolai.
Score is 13 plays 6.
Here's a tough serve. And that's perfect handball, Dave. He's got Emmett pinned behind him. He's got the setup. He hits the ball 6 inches high.
14, possible game point, plays 6. Side out.
That ball just ate up Nikolai Nahorniak.
Got away from his game plan there. I think trying to close out the
6
game,
plays
got
14.
a little bit impatient.
Well, you get a couple kill shots in a row, you think you can just, be like Superman. You still have to stick with your plan. That was a nice, tough shot right there.
Side out.
I mean, Dave, that's a power pass, and you have to play for the kill because you know Nikolai can shoot low from back there, but Nikolai, sensing that from Emmett, just drives the ball 4 feet high on a rope.
And that ball looked like it just
Possible game
picked
point,
up
14,
velocity
play 6.
after it hit the ground. This is game point, first game. Being attempted as a win from Nikolai, and it looks like he gets it right there. Takes
First
down
game.
Emmett Peixoto in game number 1, 15-6.
3 minutes, guys.
And it was all Nikolai here with a nice little run midway through from Emmett Peixoto, who had a nice 3-point run plus a side out, but that just wasn't enough. At 15-6 here with the final score of game number 1, Dave. You're watching this live broadcast on ESPN, the Watch ESPN app here in Las Vegas for the World Three-Wall Ball Outdoor Championships on the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino, right on the parking lot of the Stratosphere. And we also have our sideline reporter, Molly Jean Trotter, who eventually will get some fans, hopefully the wife of, or maybe some of those that are watching here courtside. We will certainly go to her throughout this handball championship.
Now, Dave, this match had a lot of question marks coming in, namely, how would Nikolai's injured left knee hold up here in the final? I watched him warm up and walk around the grounds, and he looked like he was on 1.5 legs. He played pretty much flawless ball there in that first game, Dave. I don't think there's anything anyone could have done to stop that Nahorniak train.
We're trying to get a interview with Molly Jean Trotter, who's courtside, but she wants to talk to Emmett's biggest supporter, life coach, his wife Jessica, who's also somebody who is more than qualified to give advice to people that are under stress.
Now, she's a wonderful young woman.
We're going to definitely talk to her in just a few, but she right now wants to be with her husband and make sure that he's okay.
You know, Dave, we saw Emmett trailing 9-0 in the semifinals of the Nationals. He went over to Jessica, trailing 9-0 in that tiebreaker. That tiebreaker was to 11. She said just a couple of things to him. He came in and ran off 11 points in a row for one of the biggest comebacks in handball history. So maybe it's just 1 or 2 things she says to him that turns the tide here. But, you know, Dave, Emmett has really struggled in big finals. He's lost a number of big finals in the last year, including here last year. Also the finals of the Nationals, the finals of the Race for 8 in Denver. Lost the finals of LaGrange, so he's having a hard time getting over that hump and winning these big matches. And you wonder, he's a confident guy, but you wonder, is that now creeping into his head?
I'm sure it's working into the psyche just a little bit. There's no doubt in my mind that after a while you start believing some of what you've been hearing about yourself, and I believe his wife and the relationship they have, she has actually been a positive influence on making him think positive, and I think he's just breaking through to get that win, that major win. This would be a first major win if he were able to get it.
Yeah.
And that's certainly something that we know that he is.
Well, he's done it before.
Constantly
he's won 2
working on
three-wall national championships. He's won pro stops.
Yeah, but that's before that
Time
arm
in.
surgery.
Yeah.
And I think there's sometimes that works back in your head again, like having a major surgery like he had is very difficult to overcome.
Well, the good news for Emmett, Dave, is that he starts off at 0-0 here in the second game. Never really got his teeth into that first game.
Let's really quickly, before this starts here, let's go to Molly Jean, who has Emmett's wife Jessica in the stands. Molly, what's going on with Jessica here, and what are your feelings about the crowd that we have?
So I actually have Jessica here right with me. Now, Jessica, when Emmett finished up that game here, what was his demeanor like when he came off the court?
He was calm, and he realized that he needed to settle down, stop overthinking everything, and just start playing a little bit more relaxed, smarter.
Now, I saw you massaging his shoulder, and he just came back from shoulder surgery not too long ago. Now, how is that holding up here?
It's feeling good. He experienced a little bit of fatigue last night, and probably a little bit right now, which is why he made me roll it out, but it's been feeling pretty good.
And how do you think he's going to be challenging Nikolai just a little bit more in this game?
Hopefully he starts using more drive shots and stops giving him some setups.
And what would you like to see here? Obviously, you want to see Emmett win. What else would you like to see him to do to help get that win?
I just want him to be a little bit more relaxed. I can tell he's
0
nervous.
plays 1.
Great. Thanks, Jessica. Back to you guys.
That was a great interview there with Jessica. Nice of her to take the time because you know how nervous she is right now. But it's a good start here for Emmett. Nikolai's made 2 errors.
1 play 0. Side out.
That's an inexcusable error there for Emmett. It's probably the easiest shot you can get in this game.
Those are the type of shots that can haunt you, too.
Well, you know, you go from taking a 2-0 lead and kind of off and running, and now all of a sudden you're receiving serve at 0-1. Not much of an advantage.
Hold it, guys, hold it.
Oh, very
Safety.
unfortunate. Very unfortunate there for Emmett. He had Nikolai in a very tough spot. I think the referee could have run in behind the 2 and moved that ball out of the way, but instead he called for the replay, which
Sorry, Emmett, it was too close to the plate.
it's a safety holdup.
Surprised the referee didn't give
0
a warning
plays
there.
1.
One of the players throwing their eye guards down on the ground with disgust.
Well, the rules change a bit outside, Dave.
Well, that's for certain.
Yeah. Great shot. From
Side
Emmett.
out.
That time Nikolai goes to the wide corner kill, but Emmett's in a perfect position for the re-kill.
Score is 1 play 0. Point. 2 play 0.
Oh, that's out.
Outside.
That was out.
Emma's appealing the call.
Dave, our line judge on this line said he thought it hit the line.
You joking, right?
No, I just heard, I lip read.
Dead ball. 1 ref saw good, 1 ref saw out. We'll replay that.
Oh, that's terrible. That's such a horrible call.
Score is 2 play 0.
That's so bad. Unbelievable. Terrible call from the referee on the side judge there.
And Emmett's starting to impose that amazing retrieving ability that he has, putting some pressure on Nikolai. But Nikolai blasts through Emmett there with a cross-court pass.
Zero plays 2. Point.
And Dave, that's the same shot Nikolai used to end the first game, an off-balance right-handed kill right in the middle of the front wall, right in front of Emmett.
1 plays 2.
That's an amazing serve. Wow.
Point.
See, and Nick executed that kill shot there. We saw Emmett miss that in the first game. That's what you have to do at this level, is execute every one of them.
Well, you know, on that shot right there, you have to hit it 1 inch high. You just tell yourself, you know he's there. You have nowhere else to go.
Outside.
Attention, all veteran active duty personnel, first responders, firefighters, police officers.
2 plays 2.
Bleacher, court Emmett, court. Please assemble in that area at this time. All veteran.
And that's the second skip in from Emmett in this game on shots that he should make. And I haven't seen him miss those in 3 or 4 years.
Especially with that left hand.
In the front of the bleacher area, court 11-10.
Hear the public address announcer there over the top of this action. There's so many people and so many different events going on, Dave, at the same time, that there's so many announcements and things going on outside of this one match. I like that shot, but he hits it too long, too wide.
Oh.
Emmett missed that shot.
Great get. This is the best rally of the match, Dave.
Well, they're both making slight mistakes. Little contact, no call.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that shot. Inside out, Nick goes to the right corner and gets the point.
Well, you're right, Dave. They both had opportunities to end the rally. Didn't hit perfect shots, and they both made amazing retrieves to keep it alive, and Nikolai ends it in style.
3 plays 2.
I'm surprised Nikolai's not huffing and puffing more.
Well, Dave, I really think that this...
Ball popped.
I believe, Dave, playing at night, the conditions are not much of a factor. It's just totally different. I don't know if I know that you've won this championship on a couple of occasions, but
all at this exact same time, and I'll tell you, I loved it. I absolutely did love it.
Plays 2.
Something about the sun beating down on your skin just makes it even worse. So I agree with what you're saying.
I don't see the conditions being a factor here, and I don't think fitness will necessarily be a factor either. Nikolai's a guy, Dave, told me yesterday he played a small ball doubles and singles tournament 8 matches in one day, then played a hands against the racket match. This is all in one day. And he said, I felt great at the end.
4 plays 2.
That's 18 games of handball in a day.
Oh, and Emmett hits that wide out the side door.
Point.
And another point now for Nikolai Nahorniak. That's 5 unanswered.
Yeah.
Should be 6, but we had a line judge
5
overturn
plays 2.
Well, that didn't actually influence his scoring because he won the next rally.
Side out.
That's a rare miss there from Nikolai.
A little uncharacteristic shot for Nikolai to attempt because he was on his back foot there. Usually he drives the ball from his back foot.
5.
It's a nice shot.
And that's 2 complete whiffs in a row from Nikolai on
First
very
timeout,
easy
Nikolai,
kill
60
shots for
seconds.
Nikolai. Dave, is he starting to see the finish line maybe and saying to himself, you know, I just make a couple shots here and I win?
I do believe there's something that he's changed, and I think that he's trying to attack a little bit quicker than he normally has, and that is what at times for certain players can lead to mistakes. Guys like Sean Lenning seem to strive on that sort of behavior, but maybe this is foreign to Nick just a little bit. I think he's trying to put it away quicker. Earlier on in the first game, he was with the mentality, I'm going to go in there and have 15 shots to 20 shots, and I'm okay with that, but you know, as this tournament starts to wear on just a little bit, you start taking chances, and the sun kind of does that. The heat does that to you.
Well, I think particularly on that last shot that he missed, it was the right shot at the right time. He just completely whiffed it, shanked it off the bottom of his hand. Perhaps the shot before that he rushed a bit, but
15 seconds.
just a strange consecutive errors for someone at his level, particularly playing at this level right now.
Well, Emmett gave him the shot, and so he went for it. But he seemed to hit it wide off the side of his hand into the sidewall a little bit too much.
Nick, you have 2 timeouts remaining. We resume. Emmett serving. 3 plays 6.
Score is 3-6. Wow, that was a pretty good deep shot right there from Nikolai, and Emmett had to readjust. It's almost as if that ball just hit a little strange crack on that front wall because it ate Emmett up off the front wall.
Well, Emmett tried to rush that shot too.
6
He
plays
tried
3.
to end the rally with a short hop kill when he should have let that bounce. And
see, there's a strange bounce, and Nikolai's unable to get that back. That ball hit a crack and went straight down.
Well, Nikolai caught in between there because he wanted to fly kill it, but the ball had a downspin on it, so he wasn't able to. And by the time it bounced, it was already over his head.
3 plays 6.
Boy, Nikolai has a lot of power with his left overhand.
Oh, that's a great adjustment.
There's where Nick is strong. That upper left hand 2-wall.
Look at that power. And Emmett matches it.
Oh, and it stays in?
Oh.
Point.
And the referee calls a point. Emmett is serving here, and those are the type of rallies that will wear on you later in this match.
Mentally, too, because
4
Nikolai
plays 6.
had a good kill shot look there, but Emmett with a great diving re-kill. Wow.
Side out.
It takes so much strength and center of gravity to fall to your left and hit that kill shot to the right, Dave. I mean, that's like a quarterback rolling out left and throwing behind himself. There's not many that can do it.
Attention, all team three-wall ball players. Please assemble at the
Great shot there from Emmett. Great shot.
All team three-wall ball players, please assemble at the championship racquetball court for photo session.
Side out.
And Emmett now starting to dictate here, Dave. He's got a great overhand game. I think there's more jumping in this game than there is in basketball. Both those guys off their feet 3 times in that rally.
You saw Nahorniak go for that corner kill.
Score is 4, play 6.
I don't think it's necessarily the wrong shot there for Nikolai. Nikolai's one of those guys, Dave, when he misses, it's literally by 1 or 2 inches. Perfect shot. And now this is what Emmett does. He finds a way to get himself into matches.
5, play 6.
We're going to 15, 5-6. Emmett loses the first one, serving here in game number 2, trailing by 1.
Look at that power.
Now watch what Nick does here. He usually hits a wall.
Well, that was set up by a terrible serve from Emmett. He lost control of the rally right from the serve, hit it right down the middle, right in the middle of the court. And from there, Nikolai takes over.
Six, plays 5. Short ball, side out.
Attention all team
appealing.
Ball players, please assemble in the championship court this time.
I thought that was clearly short, Dave.
It looked short to me, but referee has to go through this process.
The ball is short.
I thought it was inside the line. Maybe on the front edge
Score
of
is
the
6,
line.
plays 6.
Altogether at 6.
Side out.
And Dave, those shots that go out the door are so good, but they open up the angle for your opponent, and then they hit an even better angle. So is it better just to play deep drives straight down the walls? I mean, each time we've seen one of these guys running the other off the court, the shot comes back with a bigger angle.
Nick opts to take that on the
Outside.
run.
Side out.
He thought about going back, decided to come in, catches on the short hop, which is really his only play, and he hits it out wide.
6, plays 6.
Great shot. Amazing shot.
Point.
It's going to be a timeout here soon, Dave. I mean, even though Emmett has only scored a couple points in all this side-out stuff, these guys have to be getting tired.
Yeah, I think Nick is starting to be a bit
Sorry,
tired
the score
here.
now is 6, plays 6.
You see it right there. He didn't have much leg strength to drive that return. And now an air.
Point. Seven, plays 6. Long ball.
If that is long, that's a side out, and Nick will be serving. I believe Nick already saw it long as I did as well.
The ball was long.
Nice, though, as a player, when you get that confirmation from 2 line judges. Takes away that
arguing.
Yeah.
6, plays 7. Outside.
Now you're seeing a lot of side outs here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last call.
But Emmett's the one picking up points when there is
7,
scoring.
plays 6.
Please. Last call.
Oh, and Emmett was unlucky that that passing shot hit the window and slowed the ball down. It gave Nikolai a chance to recover and then hit his own winning shot.
6, plays 7.
Beautiful
Side
right
out.
there from Emmett. You know, Dave, when they played earlier this summer in LaGrange, it was Emmett who wore down after a hard first game, didn't have anything left for the second game. Now it looks
Score
like
is 7-6.
Emmett, who's quite a bit fitter here. Wow.
Side out.
And you just can't power past Emmett behind him because the boards are too slow. The ball's hitting those dead boards and slowing down. The deadest board is the one right dead center to the left. And that's the board Nikolai is hitting to try and pass behind Emmett.
Score is 6-7.
Nikolai now going with a sidearm power serve, I think. I thought wrong.
That's a beautiful shot right there.
You know,
I thought that Nick was going to go to either the corner, left corner, front wall, out to the right, or down the right wall.
Change, 2 minutes.
Now
Nick,
we
can
have
I see
a
your gloves?
2-minute glove change. But I think this will help Nick here, Dave.
Let's take a quick break. This will actually go 2 minutes. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Stick around for more action here at the Three-Wall Ball Outdoor World Championships in Las Vegas on ESPN and the Watch ESPN app.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
In 1905, Thomas Beverly Pennock settled out west to start a family construction business. Over 100 years and 5 generations later, T.B. Pennock & Sons continues on today. From our world-class concrete at the San Diego airport to our recovery efforts in New York after Hurricane Sandy, we take pride in what we build, and we will never forget who we build for. We are T.B. Pennock & Sons.
Rethink what you know about this Vegas icon. Elevate your expectations at the Stratosphere Hotel, Casino, and Tower. See what's new, up, down, and all around.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join us at this time on the championships court for the flag ceremony presentation by the United States Honor Guard and the Dallas Air Force Base. Please join us here.
We are going to take just a real brief salute here, Dave, a little moment of silence as the military salute is going to take place on this court during this men's finals match, and we are going to cover it live in honor of the fallen victims of 9/11, the wounded warriors. It's a special presentation that kicks off right at 7 o'clock. And we are going to cover it live here on ESPN briefly during this, now what they're saying is a player injury timeout, so it works out perfect for us as Nikolai Nahorniak will be changing his leg brace. And we're now going to take a quick break while we watch this live on ESPN.
Ladies and gentlemen, military personnel, retirees, first responders, police department, fire department, join me for the center. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Military Racquetball Federation, we want to thank Ball and acknowledge handball participants joining us this year.
Military Racquetball Federation has been around and been supported by this tournament here in Las Vegas over the last 6 years. What you're seeing before you tonight are first responders, such as police officers, who have sacrificed their lives during the World Trade Center. You have seen firefighters in Afghanistan who I just met who said they're ready for call to take on the mission. You have veterans standing by, ready and willing to defend our freedom. This is why we stand before you this evening. My name is Stephen Harper, the Executive Director of Military Racquetball Federation. And I want to definitely acknowledge Nellis Air Force Honor Guard for presenting the colors this evening. But there's one flag that drapes before us that Marine Corps Larry holds before me and Joe Cliniglio out of Florida. And in summons, it says, this flag that you see before you was flown in Afghanistan defending our freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, our colors are true. Our mission is clear. 22, listen to me carefully, 22 veterans come back home and want to commit suicide. That doesn't impact me, quote unquote. It will impact you when it's your cousin or your sister or your nephew or even your mother comes home and says, I have given my life for this country and I've come back and I cannot cope with the thing called PTSD. That's why we at Military Racquetball Federation stand before you, going across the country, places like Florida, Los Angeles, Portland, Washington, D.C., and saying, hey, Military Racquetball Federation is making a difference. 22 veterans will not die on their watch because they cannot cope with coming back home and dealing with the stressors that they dealt with in combat. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stephen Harper. We want to thank you on a positive note saying, hey, we at Military Racquetball Federation is making a difference in our veterans' lives. We are definitely being true to our cause to those who have sacrificed, not only for those who want to do ill will to America, but we're here to give back. And how do we do it? But we have veterans that stand before us, first responders, and saying, hey, veteran, we're going to hold your hand and we're going to be there with you in time of need. So on behalf of Military Racquetball Federation, we want to say thank you, three-wall ball. I definitely, again, acknowledge my handball players. I'm going to catch up with you guys one day real soon. And we want to thank you folks for supporting what we do, because our mission is definitely true. On behalf of Military Racquetball Federation, we say thank you. Thank you all. God bless you.
Sorry, Steve, I have to throw you a little curveball. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joe Caniglio, and I'm the helper in the state of Florida with MRF. And I just want everybody to understand what this guy is doing out there for our veterans and our wounded warriors. Timeless efforts, banging on the drum, helping all of our wounded warriors get better by playing the sport we all love, the sport of racquetball. So on behalf of Team Florida, I'm going to present this plaque to Stephen Harper in appreciation for your valiant efforts in support of our wounded warriors and veterans. Thank you for your service. This is a picture on the plaque. It's the clinic we did with the Miami VA, and we touched many lives that week. And we finished a 6-week program with some of our vets, and I'm telling you right now, this works. So thank you for all your support.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Nellis Air Force Base, the color guard, presented by the United States Air Force.
Just moments ago, we saw a beautiful presentation put together by the wounded warriors for the men and women who gave their lives on 9/11. A lot of people just stopped what they're doing to stand and honor those victims that were here, that were presented just moments ago. But now we're going to get back to the match with Nicholas Nahorniak and E Ft Peixoto. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much. Molly Jean Trotter there, also courtside, just like yourself and yours truly, as we watch that military salute. It's an unfortunate thing for those that have perished in the 9/11, the wounded warriors. Not so unfortunate for the players who really needed to take that break as well, Dave.
Yeah.
Some would say, hey, that's a terrible momentum changer for these guys, but really the ultimate thing is there are people out there that are fighting for our freedoms. They've risked their own lives to make sure that our national security is safe, and we're honoring those wounded warriors here during the men's finals.
We're able to worry about these kind of events and handball tournaments because they give us our freedom, and particularly in times like this where the unrest in the Middle East, we're unbelievably appreciative for what the armed forces do for us.
Well, we're fortunate to have such a great support group out here in Las Vegas. You're watching the World Three-Wall Ball Outdoor Handball, Racquetball, and Paddleball Championships as we give it to you live here on ESPN and the Watch ESPN app. But now we have a remaining portion of this game to play now, Dave. So what we're going to do is take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with the conclusion of game number 2 between Nikolai Nahorniak and E Ft Peixoto. We want you to stick around. 2-minute break. We'll be right back here at ESPN and the Watch ESPN app provided by the World Players of Handball. Stick with us.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
Rethink what you know about this Vegas icon. Elevate your expectations at the Stratosphere Hotel, Casino, and Tower. See what's new, up, down, and all around.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, smoky.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We are back in Las Vegas, World Three-Wall Ball Outdoor Championships, as we are concluding this game number 2. Nikolai Nahorniak and E Ft Peixoto here courtside.
All right, and we're back.
There's a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz out here on the floor of the Stratosphere parking lot.
Nick will be serving first.
There's also a lot of crowd control that needs to be adhered to.
We're resuming score at 7-all. Nick, you have 2 timeouts remaining. Emmett, you have all 3.
And Dave, preceding the incredible salute
Score
there,
is
there was a
7.
glove change for Emmett. Nikolai sat down next to me here in the booth. I said, are you tired? He said, a little bit, but I got this. That's exactly what he said. Now, that was about 20 minutes ago before the salute. He's probably now not tired. Oh, gosh. And Emmett has now made 3 incredibly bad errors by his standards in this game, Dave. This could easily be 10-6 in Emmett's favor now.
Well, I spoke to Emmett during the ending of that color guard, and I said, how are you doing? He said, I'm a little bit older than Nikolai. Do you think you will afford me more time to warm up? And I said, you guys can take as much time as you need to warm up. Both players agreed that they had enough time, and that's why we're on the court playing again.
Well, Nikolai just made a terrible error there. Oh, terrible shot. Oh, and Nikolai just unable to locate his kill shot here since the break. He's had a number of good opportunities, but Emmett reads that shot perfectly. He gets his hand underneath it and hits a perfect.
Score is 8 plays 8.
Re-kill. And Dave, I feel like the momentum has shifted dramatically to Emmett Peixoto. Both guys have made a couple mistakes since coming back to play.
9 plays 8.
We're at 9-8 here. You heard the score. Emmett right down the middle with that deep serve, and then immediate party ball hit by Nikolai. That's going to be a setup for Peixoto.
Point.
And he gets his 10th point here on the scorecard.
Emmett now, I believe, in control of this second game.
10 plays 8.
Wow.
That was amazing.
I mean, the power and the precision there.
What message does Nikolai send to Emmett? Like, if you're going to serve me that, I'm going to give you this.
Wow.
Score is 8 plays 10.
Emmett tries to do the exact same thing, doesn't have the same power, though.
But he did take control of the rally. Wow, what a shot, Dave, on a short hop. You don't see that, ever. A full swing short hop kill?
Well, and he went over the top to keep it down, which is even more hard to do.
9 plays 10.
Looks like he just totally wrenched over the top of that ball. And that is out.
Out.
Terrible side out, 9-10.
Yeah.
Momentum
well,
breaker.
You know, if that serves an inch shorter, we're talking about what an amazing serve it is.
10 plays 9.
Oh my
Side
gosh. Nikolai with a huge setup hits it right back to Emmett in the easiest possible spot, and Emmett just completely shanks it. That ball almost hit his foot.
9 plays 10.
Great return.
See what Nikolai does here. Goes down low, hits it hard, out the door. Emmett gets it. Nick probably going to use a side wall. Doesn't do it correctly. And is able to get that, though, with an underhand slider.
And now, Dave, Nikolai can start feeling the finish line. He's 5 points away. Of course, Emmett 5 points away from forcing a tiebreaker.
10 plays 10.
I feel like the momentum's changing back and forth after every serve.
I agree with you. I think whoever wins this rally has the momentum, as a matter of fact.
I like that shot.
Oh, my God.
That is just brutal out here.
You know, I'll tell you, when you're playing something like Nikolai, it almost feels like that's unfair. It's almost like, hey, there should be a gentleman's rule that you can't do that, you know?
Well, if he misses that ball 6 inches either way, it's just a completely different outcome.
11 plays 10.
And you have to hit that perfect spot up there.
Little congestion there. Nikolai did not give Emmett much room there, but Emmett played through. He found the slight opening, threaded the needle.
10 plays 11.
Great shot from Emmett.
Oh, it just touches that side wall, keeps it up enough for Emmett to get that point.
It was a great shot there from Emmett.
You saw Nikolai worried about the cord from our sliding camera, but
11 plays 11.
Oh my.
Side out.
And Dave, does that just hit the cement and take off, or does Nikolai put a certain spin on that ball?
It just looked like it just bounced higher than he expected.
It bounced higher than I expected.
11 plays 11.
Such a great serve.
Point.
And you see Nikolai now pumping himself up, Dave. 4 points from a yellow jersey.
12 plays 11.
Excuse me, 3. His first ever.
Oh no, that was crazy. There's going to be a timeout here, Dave. There has to be. This is just too much of a momentum change. And
First
Nikolai's
timeout,
pumping
Emmett.
himself up with that
60
timeout.
seconds.
Well, I think that's the right timeout. I mean, when you see Nikolai get that pumped up, that was definitely the shot of the match, Dave, at the biggest moment in the match. Nikolai has not been taking this ball out of the air. He's been playing it off the short hop or letting it bounce and driving it. And that time, Dave just executes, I mean, the highest of pro-level shots.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. That looked like it was almost a fish shot that was underhand. Here's that front camera looking back at our booth as we try to wave to you here from our booth so you can see where we're at.
I can feel the intensity just exuding off of Nikolai right now. I mean, he came in here for a quick drink of water. You could just feel that energy. Now, Emmett can zap that energy with a good return and a side out here and a point. He'll need all those things, though. Otherwise, Nikolai is just a guy on a mission right now.
Time in. Emmett, you have 2 timeouts remaining. Score is 13 plays 11.
Oh my gosh, Nikolai, just an uncharacteristic low percentage spike kill attempt, and that'll kill the momentum really quick.
11 plays 13.
Oh, I like that. That's a chance that he took. Emmett gets it back. Nikolai goes down the left
Side
wall
out.
and gets a side out. A lot of risky play by both players there.
Well, Nikolai played it safe on that kill like he should have because Emmett slipped. He was off the court.
Plays,
He knew, I'll just hit this somewhere down the left side. Oh my gosh. And Dave, that was an easier fly kill than the one he executed just about 3 shots ago, 3 points ago.
I think Nikolai could be too pumped up here.
Yeah. Oh, my
oh
gosh.
no, that's a horrible
Side
mistake.
out.
And Emmett
The
throws
Edel
this-
goggles that you can buy on edelhandball.com just took a ride.
Yeah, but they don't break. So.
No, they're very high quality. You can buy those for $29.99.
Score is 13 plays 11.
One of our sponsors, Edel Handball, at edelhandball.com. Both of these guys looking for the first opening.
Oh, and Emmett just kisses the top of that wall.
Look at that power from
It's
Nikolai,
amazing.
though.
This is trouble.
Hold it.
Oh my gosh, Emmett gets a terrible break there, and the ref has to call. He has to give Nikolai a chance to play that ball, but what kind of play does Nikolai have from 25 feet behind the wall, falling backwards?
But I contest, what is the hold it for?
Well, the referee told them if the camera's in the way, you know, you're going to get it over. That's the only way you can get a call out here.
That was one of the best shots of the whole tournament.
I agree with you.
13 plays 11.
But the fence is part of the fixture.
Well, no, that was a camera.
I know, but I'm
hinder.
just saying,
Yeah.
conversely, that the opposite was called against Emmett when the same thing happened earlier.
And Emmett will need a timeout here.
He's not going to take it, though.
Okay.
Nikolai now 1 point away from taking the men's
14
pro
championship
finals.
point plays 11.
And his first yellow jersey. Oh, that was almost a short.
He's going to go for it.
No, he goes back and pushes Emmett back out that wall. Here's the setup. Pushes it down and gets it. Nikolai Nahorniak takes down Emmett Peixoto and wins this men's open championship in Las Vegas, Nevada. And a huge congratulations out to Nikolai Nahorniak, and we're going to have Molly Jean Trotter trot right out to Nikolai and get that interview, an exclusive interview with this guy who really has not had any interviews with us because this is his first major win on our clock. And that is over. Nikolai takes it down, and we're going to have Molly.
Nikolai's got to just feel so good. He just played so well here tonight, Dave.
Oh, he had to really grind this one out. Let's go to Molly right now, courtside with Nikolai Nahorniak. Molly.
That's right, guys. I'm right here with Nikolai. Now, Nikolai, obviously you're sweating a whole bunch. Emmett tried to give you a run for his money, and now how did you go in there and try to take this game, given your knee situation?
You know what? Playing Emmett, he's always tough. It's always going to be a good match between us. I know that he's going to run me. I'm going to run him. I'm happy to be on top of this one this time.
Now, what did you change from here to yesterday? I mean, you came in here, you looked really, really focused. What made the difference?
Just the mental preparation and just thinking about what his weaknesses are and how could I do to exploit those, control the front court, serve and shoot, just play an aggressive game, and that's what I did.
And what do you feel like you did well to come out on top here today?
Just perseverance and just the hard work ethic. I really wanted this this tournament. It's been a while. I've been coming here 3 years. I always have injuries. First year, shoulder surgery. Second year, banged my forearm into the side wall, and this one, my knee. But I'm really fortunate and happy. I want to thank the WPH, all the club members in there. Thank you so much. And thank you, Molly.
Is there anything you'd like to say to Emmett?
Emmett, you're a great opponent and a great guy, and I love you, man. I'll see you back next year. Thank you.
All right, great. Thanks, Nikolai. Back to you.
Very sweet message to his competitor. You can see how much respect he has for him, and I think Molly now is going to have a chance to talk with our gracious runner-up, Emmett Peixoto.
Yeah, let's have her go ahead and talk to Emmett here, courtside, Molly.
All right, guys, now I'm here with Emmett. Now, Emmett, it looks like out there you were battling out there with Nikolai. Now, how did you go out there and take on this match?
Well, I knew Nick was going to be really tough in the backcourt with his hard drives, but I figured I could still defeat him back there if I just kept going side to side. And it was going well at times, but I just wasn't stepping into the ball right with my left hand, and he was hitting some really good cross-court shots. Overall, he just played better than me today.
Now, I know a few people out there in the crowd were saying you seemed a little bit tense, a little bit nervous. Was that true?
I wasn't nervous. Tense, maybe, but it just came from a little bit of joint pain. I was having a little trouble overcoming that. No, I wasn't too nervous. I did want to win, so maybe that tightened me up a bit.
Anything else you'd like to say to Nikolai?
He's a great player and a really good champion, and I'm honored to just get on the court with him.
All right, great. Thanks, Emmett. Back to you guys.
Such a gentleman, Dave. Emmett Peixoto, after another heartbreaking finals loss, I don't think he has any reason to hang his head, and he won't. He played a great tournament. He actually played a pretty good match here today. This second game, he had a couple things go against him. I think we'll all remember that replay call that Nikolai got. I mean, it was justified, but, Emmett had control of that rally at 11-13, and instead, it's Nikolai back in the service box, and he runs it out from there. But, Dave, I think it was some of the highest quality handball I've ever seen out here.
Yeah, absolutely. If you were somebody at home that wanted to learn how to play this style of three-wall handball, this is a match that you record, you play back, you watch for future use, because that was really just a great illustration of amazing handball. It goes to Nikolai Nahorniak, earning his first yellow jersey in the process. And we are going to earn a yellow jersey in the booth because we're going to do something we've never done before. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We're going to set up our cameras and go over to the one-wall court and catch the hands versus racket match.
Wow.
It's more of a, we said it earlier, fusion of the two sports of handball, trying to racquetball, court sports, I should say, putting racquetball and handball together on the same court, showing people at home that you should play either sport, have fun, and get off the computer, get off the games, and go outside and celebrate court sports.
Are you talking to yourself when you say that?
I actually was plugging
pep talk?
Yeah, pep talk, personal inner pep talk. We're going to take a quick break, 2 minutes, and then we're going to come right back with that production as we move everything over right now. That's why we're stalling just a little bit. So let's take that break for Linda Manning, Molly Jean Trotter, as well as Bruno Mars, and everyone else that's helped out with this broadcast. Chris Garrad, Dave Fink, yours truly, Dave Vincent. We'll be back in just a bit. Stay here at ESPN and the Watch ESPN app.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Rethink what you know about this Vegas icon. Elevate your expectations at the Stratosphere Hotel, Casino, and Tower. See what's new, up, down, and all around.